Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are
Hopefully Awesome.
That's right. A positive place on the internet where we nerd out about all the geeky things we love. And today's geeky thing is Smallville. I think we need we haven't landed on like a good way to say Smallville.
Smallsvilles.
Should we? Okay. How about we go? And this week's geeky thing is somebody Smallville. No. All right. Hey, if this is your first time watching, welcome to Going Back to Smallville, our weekly, almost our first ever. It is not the first ever Rewatch podcast. Our weekly recap of Smallville, where we watch every episode week by week, episode by episode. We are about halfway through season 2. It's pretty good so far. So definitely hang out with us if you'd like to stick around. We greatly appreciate it because now we're going back to Smallville. There it is.
For the holidays.
Home for the holidays. You know, there is a Christmas episode of Smallville.
Oh, there is?
We don't get it until like season 5.
Wow.
But it's called, you want to know what the name of it is?
What is?
You wanna know?
What is?
It's pretty great.
What is it?
Lexmas. It's pretty great, right?
It's a Wonderful Life.
It is. It's a Wonderful Life. That's exactly what it is. You 100% nailed it. You 100% nailed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, is it season 5? I think it's season 5. Yeah, I think it's season 5. All right. Well, I'm trying to think because the 100th episode is in season 5 also. But I think that came out in January. Yeah. And so this would have been Christmas. Anyway, but that, Maggie, is just so far away. Because today we are on Smallville season 2, episode 13. Suspect. Somebody call in Benoit Blanc. We got ourselves a murder mystery, I do declare. That's how he talks, right?
Benoit Blanc.
Now, son, I say I sit on you.
You foghorn leghorn.
I don't tell you now. Don't go tell me now. Benoit Blanc. How dare you, sir? I said, how dare you? We watched Glass Onion, everybody. So, season 2, episode 13, Suspect. Episode 34 overall. Original air date was January 28th. I forgot to change the
28th?
Yeah, because it was 21st.
Nice.
2003. Written by Mark Verheiden and Phil Blevins. No relation to Jan Levinson Gould. I really do think I say that every time. Directed by Kenneth Biller.
Bill.
Yeah.
Biller.
We should really start tracking the writers on this. Like, who wrote what episodes. Like, especially the ones that do multiple per season.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I know Mark Verheiden and Phil Blevins.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen them several times.
Yeah.
Aren't they the ones that end up being the showrunners?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. All right. We begin, ladies and gentlemen. Playing some smooth, not jazz, but opera music.
Not jazz, because Lionel's not putting on the moves. No. Who's here? Who's here? I told you.
There you go.
I love reading with my pen that reads to me. Star Wars. All right, I am returning to Metropolis tomorrow. No, Martha Kent is no longer my employee. Who is here? I demand that you tell me who is here right now. Make myself clear. The conversation is over. Lionel falls from the balcony and crashes through a glass table below. Who shot Lionel Luthor? What's that from?
It's Dr. Who.
No. There's. What? Oh, it's Nemo. Or he's going through that volcano, and they're trying to play music, and goes, oh, that's what it reminded me of.
No, that's just Doctor Who. So yeah, he gets shot
Yeah.
And now we're outside in the rain. The rain is falling. It kind of sounds like rain. And Jonathan Kent passed out in his truck, but he's like, bottle of tequila in my hand. What's that? What is that? Oh, there's a fucking handgun in my other hand.
Jonathan Kent, you're on I'm Chelsea.
Clear channel.
Clear. Sibilant.
Take out. Come out with your hands up. And then he walks down. He's like, Ethan, what's going on? He's like,
going on, Ethan?
Like, Jonathan, listen.
What's going on?
Listen, as your friend, don't say another goddamn word until
Have you been drinking?
Did
you take a swig of tequila?
You got the right to remain silent, Jonathan, and I suggest you use it. And then Jonathan's like, "What the hell?" And then he gets put in the cop car. Somebody save me!
Jesus, the opera music kicked in right there.
We've been watching Transformers the movie, and Lion, just the Transformers. So I'm
what
just
a lit soundtrack that was.
It was too good.
Too good.
Too good for that movie.
Too good.
You got the touch. Bum, bum. Weird Al.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we come back from the opening credits, where we find the county jail. That's right. Martha and Clark visit Jonathan in jail. They're like, Dad, hey, Dad, what happened, Dad?
Bobby?
He's like, Clark, son, let me tell you. After I got done working on my propane accessories.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen, I had to blow off some steam. I went to the old Wild Coyote, and you know, I had a drink, and then I came home. Next thing I know, I'm waking up with a goddamn bottle of tequila and a gun in my hand.
Well, isn't that every Friday night, Dad?
Fuck you, Clark. Listen. And Martha's like, John, how much did you have, Jonathan? He's like, Martha, I had half a beer. Don't you think I know how to hold my liquor, you devil woman? Wait, is this Jonathan's evil twin? Did he break out?
I think he broke out.
Nah, it's not.
He broke out and put roofie in his...
We're not talking about it. We don't talk about him anymore. Remember, that was a
you
season
don't
one.
Talk about
that was season
evil
one.
Twin.
Good job. And he says he doesn't remember anything until the police pulled him out. Clark says that the gun they found is the same caliber as the one that shot Lionel Luthor. Martha is like, "Hey, Jonathan, listen. What if I call my father? We'll get him to defend you." And John's like, "Don't you fuck it. Your father don't trust. He don't believe in me. You think a murder charge is gonna change how he feels about this family? My family? No." And Clark's like, "Dad." I'm dropping it. He's like, "Dad, what if Henry Small, he's a lawyer and he wouldn't be threatened by the Luthors?" And John's like, "God damn it, Clark, you're right, you son of a bitch."
Look at our boy thinking there, Martha.
He's like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in." Now we go to the Smallville Medical Center. Lex arrives to check on his father. Doctor, how is my father?
Father, doctor.
Wait, what was Buster? What would he say? Mother something? Mother girlfriend? No. It's something like that. Something weird. And then he finds Dominic Sanitari instead. Dominic is like, "Oh, hey, Lex, your dad, he hates you."
Dominic,
and
is something wrong with your speech?
I'm the son your father wished he had always had. And Lex is like, "You son of a bitch," and he grabs him and he throws him up against the wall. And he's like, "Listen here, Dominic, you know what? You know what I find so amusing about you, Dominic, is that you actually believe my father is grooming you." Dominic's retort He says, it's unfortunate that they already have a suspect in custody, Lex. I can't think of a person with a better motive for killing your father than you.
You did almost let him die one time.
Fuck you, Dominic.
Nobody was supposed to know that, Dominic.
Hey, don't talk to Dom like that.
Wait, huh?
Dominic Toretto.
The movies.
We stand up for all the Doms. Family.
Don't run.
Family.
Don't run.
You remember that video of all the Dominic Torettos? It's like 80 of them just.
Yes.
That's so great. All right. So now we're at the Talon. Henry Small refuses to represent Jonathan, saying only that he isn't the right man for the job. Lana and Clark don't understand why he won't do it, but Henry says, I have said my piece, and counted to 3. I'm not doing it. And he walks
1, 2,
out.
3.
And he just walks away. And Lana tells Clark that, she was at the mansion yesterday, and I overheard Jonathan arguing with Lionel about the watch he gave Martha.
Bum, bum, bum.
And then we have a flashback to the day before. Somebody save me.
What?
Lana was like, well, Clark, I'll tell you everything I heard, but first I got to go back to Smallville. And so then she launches into her podcast, all right, where she's telling Clark the story of the flashback.
Exists?
Remember Maggie?
No.
In the episode where they showed the pilot, what happened after the pilot, and we did that whole bit. You remember that? You remember with the lady, Mamma Mia? That's who Mamma Mia is. It was the woman who thought that Clark was...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, we're looking back, and Lana's there. She got some tax forms or some shit, and she sees Jonathan at the end of the hall arguing with Lionel, and he's like, coming from you, this gift means a hell of a lot more than just a gift. And Lionel's like, it's all relative, Mr. Kent, don't you think? I mean, a watch from me is equivalent to a fucking beer calendar from you dumb fucking hick.
How
dare you, Jonathan, get the hell out of Lex's mansion, you fucking psycho. And Jonathan's like, you know what? Smallville would be a hell of a lot better if you weren't in it.
You had much of a play in that as I did, Jonathan.
Why do you say that?
Because you made it all happen.
Lionel, one of these days somebody's going to shoot you twice in the chest, and I hope I'm there to see it.
And don't forget, I helped with Clark's adoption.
And Lana's like, what? And then, now we're back. And Clark's like, what? You don't believe my dad would kill Lionel, do you?
He was pretty angry, Clark.
But your dad's not a killer. Aw, thanks, Lana. That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever said. A lot. This is only the third time Jonathan's been in jail in the past year. you know?
Some things are not adding up about
it. You know what? Listen, if there's one thing I know about Jonathan Kent, it's that he's trustworthy. So now we're at the Kent farm. And Sheriff Ethan is serving a search warrant.
Hey, Martha, this is Sheriff Ethan.
Clear the channel.
This is Sheriff Ethan.
No, this is Sheriff Ethan. Listen to me.
Gonna give you a search warrant.
We're gonna search all the drawers.
And Clark's like, what the hell is this? Martha's like, they brought in a search warrant. And then Sheriff Ethan walks back down. He's like,
hey, Martha, looks like what I found down here on the bed. It looks like a watch that was gifted to you.
Who gave you that watch, Martha?
I heard you, Sheriff Ethan, through the muffledness of your megaphone.
Who gave you that watch? Martha's dead silent. And Clark says,
Lionel Luthor.
You fucking mom. And then Sheriff Ethan is like,
oh, when I heard down at the balcony at the long day, telling that Hartley was berating Lionel and doing double shots of tequila last night before he bought the whole bottle and left. His blood alcohol was 10.2.
But Dad said he only had half a beer. Sheriff Ethan, why do you believe? Why?
Stay off his tail mode.
Should we... Sheriff Ethan is in this episode a lot. Should we...
Tone it down.
Or just keep going?
Keep going.
Deal with it.
And eyewitnesses at the mansion say they saw Jonathan's truck leaving the mansion after the shots were heard. And Clark's like, well, Dad said he only had half a beer. And Sheriff Ethan was like, oh, yeah, well, his blood alcohol was 2.0. I measured it myself.
Administered it myself.
So now we go to the side of the road. Clark and Pete go out to search the site where the police found Jonathan's truck. Clark uses his x-ray vision to find a bullet in a shed.
I see something.
And Pete's like, damn, man, you doing that x-ray vision thing again?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to need to borrow you. I left a jar of quarters in my backyard.
Screw you, Pete.
God
This is
damn
not
it.
about you.
God damn it, I can't find them nowhere, Clark.
Screw you, Pete. This is about my
And
dad.
Clark's like, oh, there's a fucking bullet in this shed. That proves he's innocent. And Pete's like, Clark, I don't want to harsh on your CSI logistics here, but all that proves is that somebody done shot a shed.
Wow, Pete.
Pete's just full of one-liners.
gold on this one.
In his new Thunderbird or whatever the hell he's driving.
I think it's Firebird.
Where'd he get that car anyway? You know what I mean?
That's what I want to know.
Come on. He guesses that someone drugged his dad, followed him until he pulled over, put the gun in his hand, and fired it at the shed so that he would have gunpowder residue on his hands. Bum, bum, bum. Perhaps Jonathan Kent was framed. Yeah!
We need sunglasses.
We do. Oh, wait. We had they're too far.
they're
Too far.
Oh, yeah, they are. I'd knock over something getting them.
Now we're back at the hospital. Lex has just learned that his father remains in critical condition. Clark arrives to tell Sheriff Miller about the bullet in the shed and the theory that his dad is being framed. The sheriff...
Listen, Clark, don't promise to follow up on it, but I gotta be honest, man, I'm not that enthusiastic about what I'm hearing.
And then Dominic Centauri also approaches the sheriff with his version of events. He's like, Sheriff, I've got something to tell you, but in order to be able to tell you, we've got to go back to Smallville.
Oh, God.
So now we're doing another flashback here with Lex and Lionel arguing. And he's like, Dad, listen, I've heard that you've been approaching Smallville residents who invested in LexCorp and you're buying up their shares. And Lionel's like, I told you should have joined me when you had the chance, Lex. And Lex is like, no! And Lex is furious at the prospect of losing his company to his father. And Lionel says, and just think it's another training mission to make Lex a sharper and more ruthless businessman. Lex, I gave you just a little bit of freedom to hopefully show you that it was futile to think you could come against me. And Lex is like, Dad, one day you're going to get shot 2 times in the chest. And boy, do I hope that I'm there to see it happen.
Why have I been told that 2 times already today?
Now we're at the Torch. Lana finds Chloe at the Smallville Torch making up the front page featuring Jonathan Kent's arrest. Chloe's like, sometimes it really sucks being an objective journalist.
Wah, wah, Chloe. You don't have to run the story.
Yeah, you didn't have to write it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does Jonathan Kent murdering Lionel Luthor really affect the students of Smallville? I guess it kind of does.
It kind of does.
He is like the richest man in the world or some fucking bullshit. If Jonathan Kent murdered Elon Musk, that'd probably be on some school's website somewhere, maybe. Who knows?
Who cares?
Chloe also tells Lana that she did some investigating on Henry Small. And she's like, Lana, I did some looking. Some people usually get mad when I do this, but I looked into Henry Small. Well, what'd you find? Well, it turns out he used to work for a firm that provided criminal defense for Luthor Corp. And since you're not getting angry at me right now, I guess you want me to keep going.
Yes, I want to know everything.
Well, he lost his job at the firm when Luthor Corp filed a complaint against him. Bum, bum, bum. Somebody needs to get a hold of Benoit Blanc to get to the bottom of this mystery. Now we're back at Lex's.
God.
Clark goes to the mansion to confront Lex about the fact that he was also arguing with his father the night before. And he's like, God damn it, Lex, why didn't you tell the police that you were fussing at your dad too? And Lex like, fuck you, Clark, your dad may have shot my dad. All right, I didn't fucking kill him. You think I killed him? You think I pulled the trigger? And Clark's like, it wouldn't be the first time I saw you shoot somebody, you fucking bald fuck. And then Lex is like, get the fuck out of Lex's mansion.
Gladly.
And then he leaves. Now we're back at the jail. Martha visits Jonathan in jail.
Jonathan wants a fucking apple pie.
I didn't bring no pie, Jonathan.
I brought bail money because I make more money than you, Jonathan.
Well, used to.
If you knew how to fucking farm correctly. Anyway.
Never listen to my business advice.
Jonathan is like, oh, woe is me. If only I hadn't been so goddamn angry all the time. I just shoot my mouth off all the time about how much I can't fucking stand the Luthors. What jury is gonna believe my innocence now? Oh, and only those as super smart as me will be left to bitterly cry, damn yous! God damn yous all to hell!
Jay?
He's going for the Emmy this year.
Okay.
Yeah. Just so you know.
You can go for it, man.
So now we're at the Wild Coyote. The next day, Clark and Pete drive out to the Wild Coyote to ask the bartender a few questions. Clark thinks that somebody drugged his father here at the bar, but the bartender is no help. And he's like, yeah, listen here, party man. I've seen your dad. I know his temper, okay? And I don't think anybody would have to drug that guy with as much beers as I saw him throw back. Shit. You could ask anybody in the bar. He was just spouting off, drinking beers, talking about how much he fucking hates Lionel, wants to take 2 shots to the chest to him. And he was talking about with a gun, party man. So you just got to party with us, party man. And Clark's like, God damn you!
You're the same age as my dad.
And he's fucking pissed off at him, and he throws him up against the bar. And Pete's like, yo, Clark, don't do it, man. It's not worth it. He's not worth it. He's not worth it.
He's not worth it.
He's not worth it. And Clark's like, fuck you, PP.
You call me PP.
That's because I was angry. I'm sorry. Okay, fine. Here, bartender, I'm putting you down. And he's like, you got a temper just like your old man, party man. And then they're on the drive back, and Pete's like, Clark, I don't think that was the smartest move. And Clark's like, fuck you, Pete. You were no help at all. And then, oh, what's that? A fucking semi-truck is coming for him.
No.
And they're like, oh, fuck! And then they steer over to the side, and they go flying. And they land, right? And they're like, oh, fuck it. Good thing we're okay. But then the truck stops, and a fucking sniper takes a shot at Pete's truck, blows it all to hell.
Yeah.
Good thing Pete got this car recently.
That's why Pete got that car, because no car is safe in Smallville.
That was the car that they already had in the budget for this week's episode to be able to blow up.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can't use his actual car. No. So we'll just blow this one up. It's on loan from fucking, I don't know, Charmed or some shit. And so then Clark's like, fuck. And he uses his super strength and super speed to get them out in time. It looks like we may have done pricked the prickle. Yeah! So now we're back at the Smallville Medical Center. Pete's getting checked out. And Clark's watching him through the window. He's like, yes, Clark enjoys looking at Pete shirtless.
Pete's so sexy.
That's my best friend.
And then Lex walks up to talk to Clark about his theory of who shot his father.
You can't look at Pete, Lex.
And then Lex is like, Clark, listen, I didn't want to say anything until I knew more. But I think I know who may have shot my dad. But before I can tell you, we have to go back to Smallville. And now we're back in another flashback, mere moments after Lex had walked out on Lionel. When we see Dominic talking to Lionel, and he's like, "Oh, but Mr. Lionel, what are you bringing Lexery back for? Because he's already turned on you, and you can't trust him. What about me, Lionel? What about me? I have been by your side." And Lionel is like, "Dominic, don't you know? Blood is thicker than water, my boy. And Dominic, you stupid fuck." And Dominic's like, "One day, Mr. Luthor, one day, you're going to take 2 shots to the chest, and I hope I'm here to see it happen."
Why do I know that this is going to be said again?
And then Lex turns the corner, he's like, "Oh, sorry, forgot my phone." You burnt. Or whatever the hell it was, I don't know. So now we're back at the Talon. And Henry Small comes to see Lana, and she's like, "Listen, Henry, I've been looking into your past, and I know about how the Luthors had you dismissed from the firm." And he's like, "Fuck, Lana, I can't believe you would just go digging in my past like that. Why can't you just leave me the hell alone anyway?"
I will.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, sorry, but if somebody doesn't tell me the truth, I go looking for answers. It's my prerogative. It's my prerogative." And he's like, "Fuck. All right, listen. I'm glad. I'm not glad that you went looking, but I'll tell you the real fucking story, all right?"
Okay.
The Luthors complained about me because I wouldn't go along with an unethical scheme of theirs.
Oh.
The real reason I refused to take Jonathan's case is that I lost a capital case in which the defendant himself was innocent, but the defendant was executed
3 months.
3 months before we found the evidence that would have overturned the thing. And that day I swore that I would find a way to save the world, but that nobody would die again because of me. And Lana's like, "You can't let the past define you." And he's like, "God damn it, you're right. All right, I've turned."
And we need to be honest with each other.
That's right. That's right, little lady.
Clark.
Oh, wait, what? So now we're back at the jail. And when Clark arrives at the jail to visit his dad, Clear Channel, to visit his dad, and he finds Lana, who has convinced Henry to take the case. Henry has a plan to get Jonathan out on bail by the end of the day, but he can't keep the case from going to trial without poking holes in the testimony of the bartender, but the bartender has disappeared. Bum, bum,
Oh,
bum.
my stars. Benoit Blanc is here to solve the case.
So we have a missing bartender, and we have a Mr. Kent here who is in jail because of the bartender. Now, 1 + 1 isn't adding up to 2. And now we're back at the Wild Coyote. And Clark and Pete go back to the Wild Coyote to see what they can find out in there. And they find they open the freezer, and the fucking bartender is there.
And what does Pete say, Matt?
Pete sees the bartender and goes, "Pff," talking about sleeping with the fishes. They also find another clue that gives Clark an idea for laying a trap for the shooter. That's right. He sees a picture on the wall. He's like, "Ah, damn it. This whole thing just lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree. I know what happened. I know who shot Lionel Luthor."
Well, my stars, I get the vapors.
Is that Benoit Blanc?
Yes.
So now we go to the hospital. And we are inside Lionel's bedroom. The door slowly opens, and a gloved hand takes out a gun and pops 3 bullets into the body of Lionel Luthor while he's laying in bed. The lights turn on, and Clark reveals that it was all a ruse. And he says, "First, we put out the word that Lionel was getting better. And then we moved him to another floor." That's right. Benoit cracked the case again.
Mr. Blanc, I solved the case. Me.
Clarkery.
My name's
Don't
Clark.
you respect your elders now? Now I don't tell you now, boy. Don't you be sassing me.
I'm not sassing you,
All
sir.
right, well,
I figured it out.
I'm leaving.
Good.
I got a box of mysteries I got to solve anyway. I will never return to Smallville. Or will I?
I think you will,
That's
sir.
the real mystery. Benoit, out. You've got cheesy blasters.
You got a cheesy blasters.
And then Clark's like, wow, that was weird. But hey, Sheriff Miller, what are you doing here? And then they're like, it turns out Sheriff Ethan Miller is the one that shot Lionel Luthor. Clark disarms and confronts him with everything he knows. It turns out that the sheriff had a business arrangement with the bartender at the Wild Cody, which is how he got away with his repeated violations of the law against serving minors. The sheriff also faked Jonathan's blood alcohol test. And then Sheriff Ethan says,
Don't you see, Kreuk? It's not just about me, it's the Luthors. They're like a cancer, destroying everything they touch.
and Clark says, the Luthors didn't kill anyone. The Luthors didn't frame my father.
What have I done?
And now we're the next day in the loft. Clark's loft. Clark shows Lex his dad's old yearbook. Ethan and Jonathan have been friends. They discuss how that could happen, how they could be so close, but then Ethan could do this to Jonathan. Lex explains that Lionel has a way of bringing out the worst in people. Lex has to decide if he's going to go back to work for his father or not. Lex, quote, it's hard to imagine working for a man who can enrage 4 people to the point where any of them had motive to kill him. Clark, even you? Lex, you know that darkness that you were talking about? I don't think we're born with it. I think people like my father find a way to bring it out. So, Clark, are we okay? Clark, I wish I could help you with your father. I don't think he answered the question. Lex says, don't worry, Clark. I can take him. Yeah!
We're best friends again.
So now we're back at the Smallville Medical Center. Lionel's like, who is that? Son? Is that you? Please identify yourself. I've been shaken and shot by people who I thought I knew was you, or somebody, but apparently I didn't know. Or did I?
Or did you?
So Lionel explains that Lex, to Lex, that it was the sheriff who got him the dirt on the LexCorp board members. He says, Lex, I'll tell you everything that happened, my boy. But before I can do that, we got to go back to Smallville. All right, so now we're in a flashback in the back of a limo, and we got Sheriff Ethan walks up. And he's like,
Alright, Lana, here's the 1,000 people you asked for, the good people that live. Here's the 1,000 done.
and Lionel's like, thanks, Sheriff. I believe this is the beginning of a very profitable friendship for both of us. And Sheriff Ethan's like,
I told you this is one big, because this one big.
No, Sheriff Ethan. You are forever indebted to me.
You know what, Lana Luthor? One day, you're gonna get shot twice in the chest, and I hope I'm there to see it.
I feel like I'm going to be told that multiple times here in the next few days.
he then threatened to expose the sheriff if he didn't continue to do favors for Luthor Corp from time to time. Lex explains that Lionel destroyed a good man, and that's what caused him to be shot. Lionel says it's all Lex's fault. Lex, my boy, if you had just come back to work like you were supposed to, then none of these poor people would have had their lives destroyed. It's all your fucking fault, Lex. And Lex says, well, Dad, if that's what you got to tell yourself to keep you, to be able to sleep at night, then you go right ahead. Yeah. But Dad, you have no idea what I'm capable of. And he closes the door and walks away. Lionel's left in his room alone. The end.
Oops, I didn't mean to say that. I got C and D mixed up in my brain.
Speaking of C and D mixed up, let's get our C's and D's talked about from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/hopefullyawesome.
That's right. At the $5 tier, you can have access to every episode we make ad-free and have your name listed in the credits of every video. At $10, you'll be able to get access to our all-new exclusive shows right here on patreon.com/hopefullyawesome. Those include Hopefully Weekly, a weekly show where Maggie and I catch up on all the things that's happened over the past week, both in our life and in the world around us. Family Game Night, a weekly show where Maggie and I will play a variety of board games, from Blockbuster Party Game all the way to Fast and the Furious Heist Game, whatever that is.
Highway heist.
The Hopefully Awesome movie commentary that we'll do once a month, where Maggie and I will watch one of our favorite films and then record us talking about it over it. Kind of like a mix between Mystery Science Theater 3000 and, just us goofing off and talking about nothing related to the film. And lastly, Matt plus Maggie. This is our monthly show where Maggie and I talk about our relationship. I don't think we'll be giving any advice, but hey, tune in. It'll be fun. And if you want to go above and beyond at the $25 level, not only do you get everything that we've just talked about, but you also get a verbal shout out as our Patreon producer of the entire month. All this and more.
So sign up at patreon.com/hopefullyawesome today.
Thank you for that word, Matt and Maggie. We greatly appreciate you. We will be sure and do the things that you talked about. So now let's get into the countdown to Billy. I've screwed that up. 58 weeks.
Oh, God.
This has been the countdown to Billy.
Billy.
And now it's time to talk about the Freak of the Week.
Major Funky.
All right. Freak of the Week so far, of this week is...
Sheriff Ethan. Freaky.
Vicky.
Freaky.
Current rankings so far, we got number 1, Red Clark. Number 2, Ryan Frownyface. Number 3, Kyla. Number 4, Whitney. Number 5, Randy. Number 6, Heat Causing Horn Dog. Number 7, Bill Goldberg. Number 8, Nixon Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Number 9, Jitters 2. Number 10, Mamma Mia. Number 11, Life Sucking Corn Dog. And number 23, Bringing Up the Ass, Byron. Maggie, where do you want to put...
Sheriff Ethan. Sheriff Ethan.
Where do you want to put Sheriff Ethan? I mean, honestly, here's the thing. This episode itself, really good episode.
Yeah, it is.
Like, we had some laughs.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a really good, it's a good little murder mystery. This is,
solid episode.
I was telling you while I was watching it, we are in the middle of a good run of episodes right here. The next one's really good. It's the Sminazance. Just wait till we get to, season 7, when the majority of the episodes are garbage.
Oh, no.
That's going to be our dark ages. Honestly, they're not, it's not awful. I don't think, anyway.
Yeah.
I just remember it not being great. Anyway, so back to Sheriff Ethan. Where do we want to put Sheriff Ethan?
I want to...
One of the longer characters
Yeah.
to be on here.
I know.
Sad.
No more.
Thank God. I think our audience is happy that there's no more of that going to be happening.
I'll bring it back.
No. The new sheriff won't do that.
I know.
Don't worry about
What will the new sheriff do?
Just talk normal. She reminds me of the sheriff from Signs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say put Sheriff Ethan above Randy.
I'd rather eat Randy. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. He was one of the most useless. He did something. I guess he was one of the smarter ones.
Yeah. I mean.
And he almost got away with it too, if it hadn't been for those meddling teenagers.
Yep.
All right, I'm down with that. Because I do think Whitney was better.
Yeah.
And I mean, after Whitney, it's just all downhill after that,
Yeah.
Sheriff Ethan. All right. Your new Freak of the Week ranking.
Number 1, Red Clark. Number 2, Ryan, sad smiley face. Number 3, Kyla. Number 4, Whitney. Number 5, Sheriff Ethan. Number 6, Randy.
Sheriff Ethan. Whoop.
Number 6, Randy. Number 7, Heat Causing Horn Dog. Number 8, Bill Goldberg. Number 9, Nixon Park 2, Electric Boogaloo. Number 10, Jitters 2. Number 11, Mamma Mia. Number 12, Life Sucking Corn Dog. And 23, and forever will be, Byron.
Bringing up the ass. Family.
Don't
Family.
run.
Family.
Family.
All right. Now let's get into no flats, no tights. Did they break the rule this week? Maggie.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
What about when Lionel flew off the side of that fucking banister? Am I right?
He
Am
got
I right,
shot
everybody?
2 times in the chest.
It's true.
You know what I said, everybody, whenever he hit the glass table at the beginning of the episode?
What?
His sight comes back.
From getting shot and hitting the glass table? I mean, that would be one way. That'd be one way.
He's in critical condition, but his sight is returned.
He may have lost the power to feel, but his eyes sucked all the energy back from that or something. I don't know.
All the momentum from the bullets.
I think maybe
traveled up to his eyes.
Unicron takes in Lionel.
No, don't bring him into this.
And just like
nobody
evolves him
wants
into non-blind Lionel. You know, like Galvatron. It's Lioneltron. There you go. Everybody, check out our new podcast where we talk about Beast Wars.
Transformers.
Yeah, going back to Beast Wars. It's out now.
Transformers.
All right, now let's get into our DCU references. Part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
You become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
All right. I've started including this. I think it's just funny because they're painfully obvious.
Yeah.
I think it's funny to include this. A suspect is someone accused of being involved in a crime.
Really?
The title refers to Jonathan being accused of the attempted murder of Lionel Luthor. All right, everybody, get ready. This is the last appearance of Jason Connery as Dominic Centauri.
Oh, wow.
That's right. Dom's gone, everybody. Family. Family. This is the last appearance of Mitchell Kosterman as Sheriff Ethan.
Sheriff Ethan.
May he rest in peace.
At 14 episodes, Ethan was the single most frequently seen reoccurring character of the first 2 seasons. Overall, he's the 5th most frequently seen reoccurring character in the entire series. This episode, his last, is the only episode where his actor, Mitchell Kosterman, received guest starring billing right after the opening credits. So all the times he was in the show, he was never considered a guest star until his last episode.
Wow.
Think about it.
Money.
Jonathan Kent mentions both the Wild Coyote and Highway 91. The Wild Coyote is an actual bar in Vancouver, and Highway 91 does in fact exist as well, and would likely be the route Jonathan would take to get from the Wild Coyote to the Kent farm.
He goes to Vancouver to drink?
No. Should we go to the Wild Coyote? Should we go to Canada? I wonder if it's still around.
You want me to look it up?
Sure.
The Wild Coyote, Canada.
When Clark reads the yearbook to Lex, the sheriff wrote, "To Jonathan, a great quarterback, a better friend." However, in season 1's episode Hothead, Clark tells Jonathan that the coach gave him his old tailback position. This could mean that Jonathan was originally a tailback, then a quarterback. Alternatively, it could simply be a mistake.
It's permanently closed.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Man, dude.
First Jesus.
It was a nightclub.
First the basketball court at One Tree Hill, and now the Wild Coyote,
man.
you know? When are we going to get a break? When do we actually get to go visit something, you know?
Never. They're shutting down Hooters, so.
Wait.
They're closing a few places.
Where's Hooters?
What?
Like, what is that tattoo?
I don't know. I'm just saying everything's shutting down.
Clark mentions he has seen Lex shoot someone before, referring to when he later shot Roger Nixon in Vortex. When the latter shot Roger Nixon.
Yeah.
Okay. When Chloe... Okay, this one's a fun one. When Chloe is working on the issue of The Torch featuring Jonathan on the front page, there are some streaks of pink and black in her hair, which she does not get until the next episode. This scene was obviously filmed out of order.
How dare they?
Now it's time to get into the Talon mix. Remy Zero!
Hey, I like these guys.
La Wally, Eben Ne Endor Lantana by Alfredo Catalani. The Tequila Don't Kill Her by Tim Boopert and the Nashville Sixth.
Boopert?
Buppert. Boopert.
Boopert.
Buppert.
Boopert.
Like Rupert, but with a B.
Boopert.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all the music in this one, yeah. I guess lots of score was using us. All right. Next week, season 2, episode 14. Rush. Hurry, let me come to me. Rush. What you next to me? Rush. On that morning when this life is over, I know I'll see your face again. 'Cause I love you always, forever, near and far, close and together, everywhere. I will be with you, everything I will do for the best soy latte that you ever had in me.
That's a real song, everybody.
That is a real song. It's called The Worst Song Medley Ever. Go look it up.
Yeah.
Garfunkel Notes.
Yeah.
All right. Next week, season 2, episode 14, Rush. Maggie. Based solely off of the title, what do you think the next episode is about?
Rush Hour.
Like, okay.
Like Jackie Chan.
Wait, so it's about the movie Rush Hour or Rush Hour in Smallville?
No, I'm joking. I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to be funny.
No, I was going to go with it.
Rush, it means like you need to move fast, you know?
Gotta go fast.
So does somebody have...
Clear the line. Boop, boop.
I think, is it somebody that gets really running fast powers?
Like super speed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or does Clark?
Or does Clark need to go fast?
Clark needs to go fast.
Ooh, you know what would be a good episode?
What?
This might exist. This is not the next episode.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if this episode exists. It might. That may be why I'm thinking it sounds like a good episode. But like, what if there was an episode where the whole thing was in super speed time?
Ooh.
Like it begins with like a bomb getting ready to go off, and
Yeah.
it's got like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And so Clark has to spend like the entire episode trying to stop whatever's about to happen. But like as he's going, it's like, okay, you know what it'd be like? Remember that Marshall episode of Alias?
Yes.
Where he had to save everybody?
Yes.
It's that, but it's Clark doing super speed.
Oh, okay.
That would be a great episode.
It would be.
It's too bad we're only like 15 years too late to to tell him to make that, you know?
No.
20 years too late. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
2002 is 20 years ago.
Well, if they come back and do a sequel series to Smallville,
Yeah.
which isn't impossible, it's not impossible. That could be, I mean, or I guess Superman and Lois could do it. Or The Flash. I mean, honestly, anybody that can run fast, I guess. That may be what I'm thinking. There might have been an episode of The Flash that was like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Anyway, what do you think, everybody? We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please remember to leave a like and comment, or you can also review us on podcast networks. We'd greatly appreciate that. Also, be sure and hit the subscribe button. That tells all the algorithms that you are interested in this, and it maybe pushes out to other people like you. So that is one way to really help us grow.
Like you.
That's right. And keep in mind, if you would like to get the show ad-free and early, along with other exclusive content, you can head over to patreon.com/hopefullyawesome, where you can help support Hopefully Awesome and Going Back to Smallville. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, that's totally fine. Again, just simple follow, like, subscribe. Those things will help us tremendously. So, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this trek back to Smallville. Again, kind of a shorter one.
Yeah.
But honestly, we've been going over a lot, so I think it's better that we kind of went under a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for episode 14, Rush. Thanks for watching, as always.
Have a hopefully awesome day.
Bye.